Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and Tricia Walsh, I can't tell you how much I've missed you.
I've missed you too. It seems like we've been two ships passing here with Mystic Matters.
Well, what's the nice thing is it's summer.
It is summer.
And the two of us get to take a little time off for ourselves before we jump into our busy season at the Chamber of Commerce, and you'll hear about that in a few seconds as I ask Tricia to keep us abreast. But I have missed you, and I know that you've had a well-deserved vacation.
Very brief.
Very brief.
Well deserved,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and I had a 3-week stint a little bit myself, so we came back from the Vegas show and bought a lot of great things for the shop, for all of you viewers and, of course, customers that are out there that'll see us at the Christmas season. So what's going on at the Chamber?
Well, we are gearing up for our summer events 100%. We have Great Gatsby, June 19th. That's a Friday night.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner, hosted by the lovely Senator Andrew Maynard. This is a joint event with the Greater Westerly Pawcatuck Chamber of Commerce. Tickets are $100. I'm hoping that we are not sold out by the time you are watching this. If you are looking to get a ticket, you can call our office, 860-572-9578, email one of us, or you can reach out to the Westerly Chamber as well to get tickets to that event. It's definitely going to be a sellout event.
And what a great collaboration. We do a lot with the Westerly Pawcatuck Chamber, and it's a great collaboration and fusion.
Yes, we have a lot of fun events.
Yeah.
It's definitely a great.
It makes sense from just the demographics of where a lot of our members are located.
Absolutely, and we're two small staffs that work very well together and divvy up the tasks very well. So it's a beneficial relationship. We are also very adamantly looking for volunteers for Mystic Outdoor Art Festival, August 8th and 9th. If you're interested in that, you can also call the Chamber office, again, 860-572-9578. Looking for just a variety of positions, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. If you're inclined, you can get up at 5 a.m. and be there with us.
I
Susette
promise
and I
you,
are
yes,
right there.
yes. And my co-chair, Josh Lyons, we're more than happy to offer you a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Okay. And then another thing is, too, I just want to give a sort of a thank you and a reach out and congratulations to Hannah Stewart, your director of events, and your director of events, doing such a great job for the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. It is her first year, and she's just really, all the emails we get sounds like
It's
really,
going to be a fantastic show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Josh and I are there. We know the streets of Mystic like the back of our head, but Hannah does a great job. Your staff, Tricia, phenomenal this year. So thank you very much. But you know what's more phenomenal than just the staff and all of us talking?
Our members.
Our members,
Yes.
our members. And here at the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and of course Mystic Matters, it is one of your advantages and also part of your membership that you can be on the show. So I am happy this evening to talk about something which I know very little about but want to know more about, and that's called seniors helping seniors. So Maria Cerino. I love that. Maria Cerino and Sarah Lomax. Thank you for being on the show this evening and to highlight what you do and, of course, your organization. So why don't we start with you, Sarah, since you are, well, Sarah, I'm looking at you, Sarah and Maria, but we'll start with you, Maria, since you are the sort of the founder and the owner of this regional Senior Helping Seniors.
Sure. Well, thank you for having us. It's great to be here. And we are Seniors Helping Seniors, so we're non-medical services for seniors that want to stay at home and be a little more independent, but maybe need a little bit of help. So you might have heard of medical agencies like the visiting nurses. That's not us. A lot of people think we might have physical therapists or nurses, but we don't. We work with local seniors who are active, like Sarah, and who want to help others.
Sarah's not a senior. I know her. She can't be. She is so active.
We use the term very loosely when we say seniors. But we work with folks who are looking to help others and who enjoy that kind of work. And we match them up with seniors who need help in the community.
Okay.
So how long has the Seniors Helping Seniors been established in our area?
I've had this office open a little over about 8.5 years, actually.
Okay.
And I started out with, Sarah was one of my very early companions, actually, that worked with us and had a very small team of people And we've grown quite a bit, and it's been nice, really, yeah.
Excellent. And so what, is it the greater New London community? Is that your kind of area of service, or?
Kind of. It's really the eastern half of New London County, so from Groton over to the border with Rhode Island, and north to Norwich. And actually, I work in southern Rhode Island as well, South County, Washington County, Westerly.
So, seniors helping seniors, and I just want to ask, what exactly is that age range? When
Well,
you
we
talk
are
about
really
seniors?
flexible. So,
Okay.
to be honest, I have someone who's 22 this summer working with me because I had a client who needed some services that she could provide. So we really are flexible, but the real core of what we do is working with folks who are in their 50s and 60s and even in their 70s who want to help others. And then our clients, I would say we have some folks maybe with some dementia who are in their upper 50s, but it could go up to, 90, 95, close to 100, yeah.
So Sarah, tell us a little bit about your services and what exactly you do.
Oh my, it spans from just taking someone shopping to doing the full gambit of helping them with showering and dressing and cooking, light housework. You name it, we do it, except the medical part. We can make sure people take their medication by saying, look, there's your morning pills, take them, otherwise I'm not leaving. But we really do, we love the people we look after, we really do. I have some wonderful people I take care of, and you really form a tremendously close companionship, and a lot of people need that because they're lonely, they don't have any family left, a lot of their friends have passed on, and they're just happy to have someone they know who cares about them.
So what type of, I guess, Maria, this will a question for you. I just heard Sarah say helping, reminding them for their medication, but there has to be some kind of training.
Really we're registered with the state as a homemaker and companion agency, so there's no mandated training. There are other regulations we follow. My office actually offers training every 2 or 3 months to my employees if they'd like to come. And people do like to come. People like to see the other companions and kind of share notes. But we do a lot of training on dementia, just because every person with dementia could be a little bit different. There could be Alzheimer's, there could be different variations. So we offer lots of that training. We did a training last month on wheelchair safety. Because, you think it's so easy to push a wheelchair, but really, there's a lot you have to remember. You have to know where the brake is. You have to
or even to put
remember
on the brake.
not to let go. Yeah.
Right?
You want to be safe.
Don't
So
want
we
them
have little,
rolling down the hill.
Right.
so we have
Right.
little flyers we send out, but we offer trainings too, just to kind of keep people up to speed on what's new.
So how many clients do you serve right now in this area?
So, it varies constantly, but I would say maybe 60 or 70 people. We're kind of a small agency, and I really like it that way. I mean, I got into this, and really everyone who works with me got into this because they want to help others, and we want to know our clients, and we want to know our employees, and really we're different from other agencies because we really try to match the client and the provider together so that they'll get along and kind of build a little rapport. So I might go out and meet a client and kind of assess them and determine what their needs are. I want to make sure they're not too medically needy as well, because if someone really needs nursing care,
Right, that's a whole different ballgame.
constant pain management meds, we really can't help with that. But I want to know the personality. I want to know what they used to do for work, because when we go back to the office to try to figure out who's a good match for that person, we really go through and think about personality and kind of what skills they need and who likes to provide those types of services. We want it to be a win-win for both, really, for the employee and for the client.
And how many companions do you have on average?
And that varies too. But I would say we've got about 60 or 70 people kind of on our list.
Wow.
So not all of them
Oh, I
are
didn't
busy all
really
the
realize
time.
it was that large.
Not all. Some people have been with me for years, and they work 2 or 4 hours a week. They love their one client, and they just want to work for those 2 or 4 hours, and it works for them. So we do that. But other people, maybe 15 or 20 hours a week is a typical number of.
And is that
how
up
much
to the
folks work.
companion to figure out what kind of hours that they want to work, or they give it?
It really is.
Okay.
When we interview folks, we want to know what would be your ideal schedule, and we can't commit to meeting anyone's ideal schedule, but we like to know about how much they want to work, so we can fit them with the right client that might need that amount of work. sometimes you have 2 or 3 clients, during the week, or sometimes you have just one.
Okay. It's just a rewarding, I would think, Sarah.
Yes, very.
And tell us a little bit about, I guess, your client and what you get out of this as well.
Well, I've had some wonderful clients. I'll tell you about my first one.
And this is how many years ago?
8 years.
8?
She's been
Well,
right
Marie,
around.
you
I was
were
so lucky
yeah,
to find her.
Yeah.
When
wish
I
we
met
could clone
Maria,
her.
she was still in her own home, doing it from her
I didn't
home.
even have an office yet. Yes, I was
Yes.
just starting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I saw her ad, and I thought, I just moved to Mystic, and I thought, I've got to do something to keep myself off the
Well, I
street.
actually remember when you moved to Mystic. Yes, I remember. Yeah.
And so I just liked her right off the bat. I thought, what a neat lady, and she is. And my first client was so sweet. I used to take my dog with me, my rat terrier, who's this big. Her name is Ruby. And if I didn't take her, Margaret would say to me, "Where's Ruby?" And one time when I was leaving, I heard her say, "I just love that dog."
But she loved you too.
Oh, and I loved her. She was
Yeah.
precious,
Yeah.
absolutely precious. I have some lovely clients. One lady I take to the hairdresser every week, and then we go to Dunkin' Donuts for tea.
Of course
and
you do.
we share a corn muffin. She doesn't want a whole one, just
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
So sweet. Lovely lady. She reminds me of my nanny. Same white hair.
It's fantastic.
So this falls into this whole concept of aging in place and aging gracefully, and I think it's kind of, it's become a major topic in the past, I would say, I've seen in the past 3 or 4 years at the chamber is this idea has come up. So if you could kind of elaborate on really what that means to perhaps somebody that has a parent that they're worried maybe they're out of state.
Yeah. And so I think part of the reason aging in place is a big deal is because families have kind of moved out geographically. You don't always stay in the same town.
Right.
And you might have fewer siblings. If you are in town with your parents, maybe you don't have siblings close by that'll help out. And so the question is, how do we keep mom or dad safe? Especially if you're working or your spouse is working, you might not have all the free time you'd like to get them to appointments or to help them just function and maximize, kind of have the best life they can have. And so people look at ways, how can I stay at home? If I have an upstairs bedroom, maybe I need to move it downstairs so I can minimize the risk of going up and downstairs all the time. Maybe I can adapt the bathroom and put in grab bars or raise the toilet just to kind of improve safety and minimize fall risks and things like that. So, part of it is making the home safer. Part of it is having transportation. A lot of seniors take themselves off the road. They realize they don't want to be driving anymore. It's dangerous. If you don't have the mobility to kind of be looking around and always watching for the other guy. So sometimes for your parents, you might want to have an alternative for them so they don't feel like they have to drive. Hey, call Seniors Helping Seniors. They'll take you shopping next week. You can take your time. You can spend 20 minutes picking out the perfect apple. Pick the things you want.
Yes.
See your friends. It's kind of a social visit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look for other resources in the community when you help people age in place and just identify what you might need for your specific situation.
So is there an actual, kind of walk us through, is there an interview process? I mean, we call you up and we say we have this parent, love her, love him, and we just need them doctor's appointments. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? I mean, do you say yes right away, or do you say, look, we need to come over there and talk about this?
On occasion, I will set up a transportation visit for somebody that just needs a quick ride. If kind of we know that the individual is stable and able to, to easily be transported. But typically, you're going to call and explain what your situation is, and I or someone else from my office will come out because we want to meet the potential client and see that they're, not too medically fragile and that they're able to have someone with our skill level helping them out. And at that point, I'll talk about, what we can do. We're so flexible. We'll do even a 3-hour visit once a week, once every other week, or as needed. Some people want us in every day, so we really just want to get a feel for what the client needs, what the family thinks is best. And then we go from there. We pair you up with who we think would be a good companion.
And you turn down. You have to turn down if
There are
it's
some
something
people
that you just have to turn down.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that must be hard too.
It is.
You
Yeah,
know.
it really is. Oftentimes we work in conjunction with medical services. So someone might have the VNA coming in.
Well, that's
So
a
nurse
great
is
thing
checking
too.
on them.
So,
They've got physical therapy, but we come in to strip the bed, do the laundry, make a few meals, maybe read to the person. You know, there's a lot of people with
A lot
vision
of reading,
impairments.
yeah.
And
Yes.
Sarah's great at reading, and she has
I have
that
a
great
lovely
voice.
lady I read to twice a week. Oh, she's so sweet, and I love reading to her.
And that's so relaxing and soothing sometimes
She
for a
usually
person
falls
just to
asleep.
know. Yeah.
So
Soft and
you know, and of course we're on a TV show and we want to make sure we know about everything. Is there sort of any training if you had someone that a senior would be giving you a problem, like the problem solving type of thing? Whether it's maybe a physical, you know, somebody that's getting physical with somebody, or abusive or anything like
Well,
that.
I think that's why it's nice to work through an agency. You know, there are lots of people that do this on
Right.
their own and just put flyers
Right,
up.
right.
But with the agency, we're right there behind our folks. I mean, even if they just have a general question, we encourage
Okay.
people to communicate and call us with whatever's happening. But if there was a problem, we would intervene right away. You know, I mean, we always
and you have the means to do that, and
exactly.
okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So how many people actually do you have, Maria, staff?
So, I mean, working at any one time, maybe 40 people at one time, but we have probably 60, maybe even 70 people who are kind of signed up with us that would like to provide services, and that maybe do provide them just a couple hours at a time, or are waiting for that right
Now, is
client
this
match.
volunteer or are these people paid?
No, this is a part-time job. These are
Okay.
employees. We do the payroll taxes, you
Okay.
know, the workers' compensation, the liability, all that. Yeah.
And your clients, though, because this is not, it doesn't fall into medical care, this is not covered by the insurance purpose.
Not
then.
by Medicare and not by medical insurance. Some of my clients have long-term care insurance.
Okay.
You might be familiar with that. So that if someone was unable to perform their activities of daily living, they call them, for a long term, they would have to meet a waiting period, but then their insurance company would reimburse some or all of it, depending on what kind of policy they have. But for a lot of people, it's paid out of pocket. And for a lot of people, you know, it's well worth it because it
absolutely.
just gives them that extra bit of confidence and socialization that
I think
could
the
otherwise
And being in their
Socialization.
own home.
Yeah,
That's where
right.
people are happier.
Right.
And when you're happy, you're healthy.
Right. Was it a tough winter for the organization?
It was, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That weather was ridiculous.
Yeah, so it was,
Yes.
you know, and I imagine there was some pretty lonely seniors out there that just
Exactly.
need
Yeah.
some help too.
And when it's awful weather like that, you know, we're not medical. It's usually not essential that we're out there to see somebody at a very given time in the middle of a blizzard. But there are people that, you know, I have a Jeep. I was out there picking up my employees and bringing them to see their seniors because we didn't want anyone to go too long without seeing someone. And as long as we knew we could safely get them there, you know, we did what we could.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
We do overnight as well.
Oh, now I didn't know that, Sarah.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted an overnight, just to be there with them during the night, it gets very lonely, you know, and then wake up in the morning and probably
It's very
help out.
typical after a rehab stay, if you've been in the
Yeah.
hospital or gone to rehab, and then you come home and you're not really sure what to expect. You've had these people around that you could just call with a buzzer if you needed help, and all of a sudden you're going to be home by yourself. So a lot of times people will have us either 24/7 for a little while or even just overnight to have somebody in the house in case they get up at night and are disoriented, or, you know, if someone falls and, you know, doesn't have their wits about them to call for help, or doesn't have a personal emergency system that they can press the button on. You know, you don't want someone laying there all night, so it's nice
Well,
to have
Maria, I
someone.
can tell you're very passionate about this organization, but you're young. I want to know how you got involved with this. What is your story?
Well,
Because I mean, you're smiling, you're beaming.
I love
about-
this kind of work,
Right,
yeah,
you
it's
are
great,
talking
yeah.
about something that you're very passionate about. So how did you get involved?
well, you know, nobody's really heard of a companion agency until
Yeah.
you need it, until you have a parent or someone in your house that needs it.
okay, yeah.
And so about 10 years ago, we needed companion services in my home, and these agencies were not around here. I couldn't find anyone to be like the adult babysitter that I needed.
For your
we would
parent?
hire,
For one
actually
kid?
for my husband.
For your husband,
He was
yeah.
quite ill. And,
Yeah.
and so you would talk to friends and neighbors and try to get people to be there, and they wouldn't show up, or something would happen, and I used to say, someday I'm going to start an agency. And then I heard of Seniors Helping Seniors, and I've really always had kind of an affection for older people
Yeah.
anyway since I was a
Yeah.
kid. So it just
I can
kind
tell
of, it was a
that.
good match, you know, it was a good match for me, yeah.
So this happened 8 years ago.
Yes.
This is when you actually opened up your own,
Yes.
I mean, it's a very large organization, right?
It is, it's actually
Okay.
international now, yes. Seniors Helping Seniors, which is nice. It's nice to have a home office company that you can go to for resources, or that can send you out information about trends or new regulations. That's kind of a nice thing. But really, you know, I operate this area by myself and kind of run it with the folks in my office and
There's
my
actually
wonderful
someone
caregivers.
in Canterbury, England, that started
That's
as
right.
Seniors Helping Seniors.
So do you or do you work there when you go out?
Oh yes,
Yeah, I was
of
going to
course.
say.
Yeah, I fly over every week.
Well, Sarah, we've known you a long time in the community too, and I've seen you working at various places. But this you have a passion for.
I certainly do.
And I can tell that as well. So give us a sort of a story of one of your favorite clients. I know you've told us about, I mean, there's probably several, but you've got one right now, I'm sure.
I do. I have a lovely lady I take shopping every week, and she has many allergies, and it's really interesting to go shopping with her, food shopping.
Oh.
Yes, and if I was ever desperate, I could get a job in McQuaid's, stocking the shelves. I know where everything is.
Okay, is this a woman in her home?
No, well, yes, she's in an assisted living.
Yeah, but that's really the
Yes,
the
it's
home.
her home,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's very typical, you know, we help people in their homes, but for a lot of our clients, their home is an independent living community
Right.
or
Yes.
assisted living.
But
And
that's
sometimes
why they
people
call
need
it
extra.
independent, because
Yeah,
it's an
exactly.
independent living, but they,
Exactly.
you know, they're not near that medical part of it, so,
Yeah,
you know, they need some sort of assistance.
exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Now, do you ever find that you're met with a little resistance if, say, a family member calls for someone and then that person's like, I don't need help, I can do it on
That's so
my
typical.
That's
We're
typical.
used
That's a
to
very
it.
good question.
And a lot of daughters or sons will call us and say, I want help from my mom, but she keeps saying no, she won't let us in. And they kind of apologize. They say, I'm so sorry, but can you come out and at least explain what you do? And maybe she'll warm up to the idea. And that's typical. And I think some of us are going to be that way too, because we've done everything our whole lives.
Yes.
Yes.
So when someone comes in and says, well, you need help cooking, we're going to kind of say,
Oh, I'll say, please,
We'll be fine.
yes, come in.
Yeah. Well, I talked a little bit about this on a show a few weeks ago. Maria, I see the population, the largest population, as we know, are the baby boomers.
Yes.
So, you know, you never heard about this years ago, just never heard of it. And also, like you mentioned, I think in with some of the families, I mean, grandmother lived with the family.
right, yeah.
Grandma and grandpa lived with the family. It was just kind of a known thing. She just lived there.
And the family really
And
moved
they're-
in with their parents.
And the family moved
just
in with it.
everybody
And
stayed
sometimes
there.
the family
Yeah.
moved into the homes that they grew up in,
Right.
and it became part of their family. So as technology changes, and of course people that are in that field have to move. Some of the areas are Pfizer, medical fields, they move. So there's a lot of that. But as we, baby boomers, I'm saying we, but let's not, again, not go there.
Not rushing anything.
Not rushing there, but I can just, as I'm listening to you and Sarah, I can just hear and feel the need. So this is basically going to be a growing, I don't want to say business, but really a growing,
There's a need,
there's
yeah.
a need.
Yeah, there
And
really
do
is.
you see this yourself?
Completely. And, you know, if you think about your friends and relatives, almost anyone you talk to, especially our age, really is kind of sandwiched in, that sandwich generation.
Right.
They're trying to help their own parents. They might still have kids in their own home.
Or the kids
and
have
it's
come
not
back.
and they come back.
Financially, some of these kids are coming back, and sometimes with their wives and or husbands and with kids. So, and then you put this, you know, the mom and dad situation. It can be a very stressful time.
It really can be. And the
Yes,
population, I think it's 85 and over, is just the fastest growing segment of our population right now as more and more baby boomers kind of fall into that category. And in some ways, there's a little bit of a workforce shortage going on for nursing homes and
Yes.
for some of the facilities to try to hire people to come in and help to kind of care for
goodness,
folks.
yes.
It's tough, you know. I think in-home care is a little easier because it's a little more pleasant for some people than going into a facility, and it's a little more
Less
flexible.
expensive.
Exactly, that too,
Yeah,
for the clients.
Well, and like you said, you're happier when you're at your home, and when you're happier, you're healthier, so you're hopefully not long-term stay in any of these, like a hospital-type
Yes.
facility.
So we have your information on the screen, but again, Marie, just tell us how we can get a hold of you, your email address and your.
Okay, and I would encourage anyone to just call the office. We have really friendly office staff
Yes.
who love to talk on the phone. So 860, can I say the number? 536-4767.
our
Just
website
call
or
to
email.
ask questions. An email would be shsmystic@gmail.com.
Do you have a website?
A
too?
website would be seniorcaremystic.com.
Okay, Senior
to
Care
get you
Mystic.
directly to our webpage. Yep.
Well, I have to tell you that it's just been a real pleasure this evening to find out and to hear about this wonderful. I mean, I've actually heard about it, but I didn't know the sort of the ins and outs. Is there anything else that we've got about a minute and a half that you'd like to say about your organization?
You know, I would just say prevention is key. So anytime you can
Prevention
just
is key.
prevent a fall, you know, a fall can change a senior's life. So whatever you could do to just make the home safer and reduce risk, and to, even if that means having help in the home for someone who's a little resistant, it's good to try it. You're never obligated. Give it a try for a few visits and see if you can just kind of increase safety and keep things happier for everybody.
And of course, I think planning ahead and having that sort of hard conversation with the mom and dad. I think that's where some of us probably don't want to cross that line
I know,
yet.
yeah.
But also calling all of you people and saying, how do we even get to that stage?
And just having a folder with a few resources in it is great to have ready for, you know, when you need it.
It's great for that caregiver looking after a parent or something to have a break
Well,
as well.
True, yes.
They need a break.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
otherwise you can kind of build up a bit of resentment.
Yeah.
Say, oh my goodness, and get
Resentment
tired.
and, yeah, there's a little
Even if
bit
you have a
depression.
couple
Yeah.
of hours to yourself. And that's what we can do for them too. So
Well, Sarah and Maria, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been great. I was looking forward to this segment, but really just to learn about what all of you do, and it's just very rewarding. And thank you for actually being in our community.
And thank
as
you for
well.
having us
thank
here.
you for
And
having
Tricia
us.
Walsh, I'm so glad that you're back, Mystic Matters, and I think we're going to have lunch here pretty soon too.
Pretty soon.
Okay, because you know what, we're gearing up for a really busy season.
Yes, we are.
We are Mystic Matters, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.